Hey guys, welcome back to my channel or whatnot. It's your girl Irene, and today I have a story time for you guys. So grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, and we're gonna get this show on the road. Okay, so I was in sixth grade, guys. So I was in sixth grade, and we had a science fair project. So me, back in the days when we used to have science fair project, I used to go all out, bro. Like, just all out. Like, I'm not talking about decoration wise, because decoration wise, I wasn't all that. But like, thinking of a science project, I was all that, man. I used to do science projects, and like, my teachers used to be like, what type of, I've never seen this before, where did you get this idea from? And I'll be like, straight from the dome. So my teacher said we having a science fair project. I mean, I wasn't happy because I don't like doing work, but I was like, well, I'm finna eat this, huh? So I stayed up all night. I did my science fair project. My people didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't get nobody involved. I was just doing my science fair project, just doing my shit, like decorating the board and everything. So the next day the science fair project is due. So I'm like, okay, bet. The science fair project is due. Sixth grade year, they put me in a bilingual class. They didn't put me in a bilingual class because I didn't know English. I knew English probably too much. They put me in a bilingual class because they said I was disruptive. I wasn't. Because they said I was disruptive or something. And so basically they put me in a bilingual class because they said if they put me there, I won't be able to interact with anybody. And they were right, because I didn't know what them motherfuckers was saying. So I was in that class. So I brought my science fair project to class. Now, even though I was in the bilingual class, I still had to do the work of my other homeroom class, like the class that I came from originally. Like, I still had to do all their work, all their assignments. So I went to my bilingual class. I told my bilingual teacher, I'm like, hey, science fair project is due. The bilingual class, they didn't have to do science fair project because they didn't know English. So I was like, science fair project is due. Can I give it to my teacher? My bilingual teacher, he was like, no, you just got here. Like, just chill. He was like, just chill, just wait. I'm gonna give you some time after the announcements. I was like, okay, cool, bet. At first I was like, why is he forcing? Like, what do you mean just wait? Like, I'm looking at my freaking teacher, right? Like, just like I'm legit looking at her. Like, I can wave at her if I wanted to. But I was like, you know what? It's okay. Like, he cool people, so it don't matter. I knew he was gonna let me go take it to her once we got settled in. So after the announcements, we used to go to restroom breaks. Like, everybody would go to restroom breaks. People would go at different times though. So he's like, all right, guys, get up. Let's go for our restroom break. So I'm like, bet. So we go to the restroom break. I come back. So where I was sitting at first I was sitting by the bilingual kids. But then the teacher decided to move me because I started teaching them English. And then I started talking with the Hispanic kids. So he was like, damn, you talk to everybody. He was like, how you managed to talk? Man, I was teaching them motherfuckers English. Man, they should have fucking paid me. That bilingual teacher was, anyways, let me not get off topic. But yeah, so he moved me to the corner of the classroom away from everybody. So I was like, okay, bet, cool. So when you first walk into the classroom, the first thing you see is my desk, because I sat by the door. So I sit in my seat, I'm chilling. I say, hold on.
Where's my billboard poster?
So now I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. So in the beginning, I wasn't too pressed. I was like, okay, my science teacher probably saw it in the corner and decided to pick it up and take it to her class. So I told my bilingual teacher, I'm like, hey, I forgot his name, but I'm like, Mr. such and such, can I go to my science teacher class? I can't find my billboard anywhere. I don't know what happened to it, and I just want to make sure it's in her hands if it's gone. He's like, yeah, cool, you can go. I said you can go after we got done with the restroom anyways. So I was like, all right, bet. So I went to my science teacher class. I'm like, hey, Miss... I want to call her evil hoe, but like, girl, ain't nobody got your project. So she's like, girl, ain't nobody got your project, going somewhere. So I'm like, somebody got my project, because we went to the restroom, it was here, we came back, it was gone. So she was like, man, I don't know where your project is. Like, da-da-da-da. Go check the other teacher's class. So the way it was set up at my, in my intermediate school was you would have two teachers. So one teacher would be math, and then the second teacher would be social studies, science, reading, and writing. Like, one teacher had four courses to teach you in a day, and then the other teacher had math. Then they always had this one academy with 3 teachers instead of only 2. And we were in Red Academy. And Red Academy was the one with 3 teachers. So I had a math teacher, I had a science and social studies, which was the teacher that I just came from, and I also had a reading and writing teacher. So she told me to go check the math and the reading and writing teacher's class to see if they had it. So I was like, bet, cool. So I went to my reading teacher first. I went to her class first because she liked me. The math teacher probably would have kicked me out. He did not like me at all. So I went in her class. She like, man, I don't got your work. She was real ghetto. She was like, man, girl, I don't got your work. What I look like I have in science? She was like, girl, you know what course this is? I'm like, I'm just checking, miss. I'm just checking. Shout out to her. She was mad cool. But turned out she didn't have my work. So I'm like, you know, I don't want to go to this man's class. And we're going to have to give him a name. We're going to call him Humpty Dumpty, because he looked like a fucking egg. A big egg, like a gigantic. You remember with that girl on Willy Wonka when she ate that blueberry and she blew? Was it that blueberry gum and she blew up? Like that's what he looked like. Like, he just shaped like an egg. So I did not want to go to Humpty Dumpty's class because he didn't like me and I didn't like him. And he probably would have kicked me out. So I was like, man, do I really have to go to this man's class? So I was like, fuck it. I guess I gotta go to this man's class. So when I walked towards his class, I saw nobody was in the classroom. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So nobody was in the man's classroom. So I continue to walk in and I see them in the hallway. They're doing the restroom break. So I'm like, bet, God is on my side. Let me go through this man's class. Let me see if somebody took my science fair project. Because if somebody took my science fair project, we now have an issue. And let me just check. So I'm searching through everybody. I'm opening everybody's science project up. Because you remember, the project was due that day. So everybody got their project. So I'm opening everybody's billboard. I said, damn, that's not mine. It's too creative. Close that bitch back up. I opened it. I said, oh, hell no. This shit too white. Close that hoe back up. Open this one. Be like, damn, this hoe finna make 100. Close that hoe back up. None of their projects was mine. So I started feeling so defeated. Like, I just felt so defeated because I stayed up all night. I did that project. I typed it out by myself. Like, I just did it all by myself, man. I mean, I understand that everybody kind of does their science fair project by themselves, but it's one thing for you to do your project by yourself and for someone to take it. Like, that shit just really, that shit messed with me. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. That shit messed with me. So I felt discouraged and I'm like, man, I guess I just lost my science fair project. So I'm like, let me go back to my bilingual class. So as I'm about to walk out, I see this one desk that I didn't check. And it's right next to the door. I see the nigga that's sitting at the desk. His name is, we're going to call him Dwight. I see Dwight's name on the paper. Mind you, this is math class. So his name was on the math sheet, worksheet. Next to his desk, I see a billboard. I said, hold up. Dwight did his homework. Now, everybody knows that one person in high school, middle school, elementary, everybody knows that one person that does not do their work for the life of them. And like, they just continue to make it to the next grade with you. And you looking at them like, how did you make it? Like, that was Dwight, man. I've been knowing Dwight since kindergarten. And Dwight never did his work. He never did. When I say he never did his work, he never did his work. And all of a sudden, he got a science fair project. This nigga can't even do homework. So how can he do a science fair project? Science fair projects take up time and energy. Homework do not. Well, not all homework. So something told me, Irene. At first, I wasn't about to open that project up. I'm like, this shit, he gonna get a 0. Baby, I opened that project. Me, my nigga, came up. That's all me. That was all me on that fucking science fair project. So now I'm heated. I'm like, this nigga really stole my science fair project. Like, this boy really had the nerve to steal my project, son. And okay, so I forgot to write my name on the project. He gonna go write his name on the back of the board. I said, bitch, almost had a heart attack when I saw his name. Bitch, I said, not only did you steal my science fair project, you managed to put your name on it too. So, bitch, I was angry. So, I was like, oh, okay. So, you want to steal? I'm going to steal too. So, I took my science fair project. I had it in one hand. And he had this binder. You know them black boys? They don't have to be black. Boys in general, but most black boys do it the most from where I'm from. Those black boys who never have backpacks. They just bring that one binder full of work that they never did. He was one of them. So, I picked up his binder, which basically had his whole life in it. He had mechanical pencils, pens in it, a marker in it. He had a whole bunch of homework that he ain't never did that was from weeks ago. All that, the whole 9 yards was in it. I picked the binder up. I said, okay, you want to steal my project? I'm going to steal your binder. And I walked to the bilingual class with the stuff. So my bilingual teacher, he was mad cool. He was like, you found your stuff? I was like, yes, I found my stuff. So I didn't tell this man nothing. I should have told my bilingual teacher. If I would have told my bilingual teacher, this story would have turned out differently. But I didn't tell him nothing because I didn't feel like it was his business. And the main reason why I didn't tell my bilingual teacher the situation was because I stole Dwight's binder. So I would have got in trouble for stealing his binder. So I went in Dwight's binder and I took the marker that he had and I was just writing all on top of his work. Dumb, dummy, dumb, scratching stuff, throwing paper away. Like, I was sitting right next to the trash can, so I was just throwing paper away, scratching stuff up, throwing it away. I was playing basketball. We playing basketball. Bitch, I was just throwing everything away, man. So, I took the billboard. Just said billboard. I took the science board. Just scratched. This man put his name Dwight in big ass writing, handwriting. So I scratched out his name and I put Irene. And I used to love putting hearts at the end of my E. So I put a big ass heart and I circled it in and I went back to work. So I'm sitting at my desk and I'm really like just writing, you know, I'm doing my work. And I'm like, this man Dwight really got me fucked up. Like, this man really decided to take my project. Like, he really has me messed up. So to the corner, I'm doing my work. So I'm looking down like this and I'm doing my work. I'm like, and I'm thinking about how he got me messed up. I look up like this. Tell me why I see Humpty Dumpty next to Dwight. Dwight want to say, there we go. Bitch, I almost got scared. Bitch, I said, stop it. Bitch, I got scared. I said, where it go? Well, who? What do you mean, there it go? So Humpty Dumpty was like, give him his science project now. So I said, hey, you this mine. I said, Humpty Dumpty, that's my project. So Dwight starts saying, look at her, she stole my project. I said, so not only are you going to steal my project, you're going to come back for it after I've taken it back. I said, Dwight, you have stolen my project. He said, no, you stole my project. He said, look, she even stole my binder. Look. He picked up the binder off my desk. Humpty Dumpty said, that's it. I'm writing you up, Irene. For what? For what? He said, then Dwight picked up the science fair project and was like, and he turned it over to where the names were. And he was like, look, she even crossed out my name. He was like, that's it. And that's how he used to act. That's how the teacher acted. He was like, that's it. You're getting a referral. And so he was like, you're getting a referral. I'm writing you up. I'm calling your father. You're getting on my nerves. So the bilingual teacher, he looking like this. He like, hey, that man ain't say nothing. That man was like, all the bilingual kids, they just looking like, they speaking Spanish and shit, probably saying what the hell is going on. And the teacher, Dwight snatches the fucking science fair project out my hand. So I got up, I said, give me back my science fair project. So he's like, Man, if you don't get the fuck, that's my science fair project. Da, da, da. Like, this man really played it off like it was his science fair project. I said, man, you got a lot of balls. Like, you real life have a lot of balls to steal my project and then play it off like it's your project. Like, you really have a lot of balls. So we all three went back. Humpty Dumpty told me to walk back to his class. I was like, here we go. He called my father. And I'm calling here today because your daughter Irene decided that she was going to, then he'll say what I did. So he was like, your daughter Irene decided to steal someone's science fair project, blah, blah, blah. She didn't do her project. So I went home. I got a whooping. Yep. My parents whooped me because I was bad 6th grade year. So anytime the teachers called, I just got a whooping. Like, they didn't even ask me what happened. I was such a bad kid. So they just believed everything they heard. They didn't ask me, oh, did you do it? They didn't want to get my side of the story. I tried to tell them it was my project. They didn't want to believe me. And I ended up getting a 0 on a science fair project. And I was not going to redo a science fair project. I'm so sorry about it. That's it. One and done. Bam. And Dwight got a 90 on that project. He got a fucking 90. And that man ain't never got a good grade in any classes. All of a sudden, he got a 90. So, yeah, that's how it happened. Me and Dwight ended up going to middle school, and I ended up asking him, I'm like, you remember the time you stole my project and then played it off like it was your project? And then he just started saying, hey, man, that never happened. So just get that out your head. What? So that's the end of the story time, guys. If you like this story, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. And there will be a tutorial on this makeup. It is looking a little dingy right now because I have been wearing it all day. But when I do it, it's going to be fresh. So, bye, guys.